Welcome everyone to episode 9 of the Gran Turismo 4 Germanlocke, and this is kind of a second take, so I'm showing my hand a little bit for what to expect soon for the Compact Cup, but this is a Polo GTI. I bought it and totally didn't realize I needed the IP license, and I didn't feel like spending another hour and a half like I did for episode 3 filming these license runs. So yeah, we're going to do something a little bit different now. We're just going to be doing the Clubman Cup. Now I'm actually going to build a new car for this, and we're not going to use that Polo GTI because I'm saving that for a different one. And we're going to finally tackle the last brand I haven't built on this channel, on this series so far, which is an Audi. So we're going to pick something pretty neat. I'm pretty torn. I mean, the S3 would be fun. Kind of unsure. So it is a 1.8T all-wheel drive. Should be fun. We got the TT. We have the A3 3.2. I've done a lot of VR6 stuff, so I'm probably going to stay away from the VR6. The 4.2 might be pretty fun, and the V8 of the S4. The RS6. Let's see. What's up with this one? I think this is the twin turbo V8. I think I'd do the RS6 Avant. I think for the Supercar Cup, I am going to build an RS6 Avant. But I think for this time around, we're going to go with the B6 S4. And we're going to go for this absolutely sweet Goodwood Green. I haven't done many big motors so far. I think this is the biggest engine we've used so far in this series. It's a 4.2. I absolutely love that engine. I'm not going to put an exhaust in this car because I know what happens. These things start sounding like garbage. We're going to do a pretty fun build with it, though. It looks like we've got some forced induction options. I don't understand why we need an intercooler for a naturally aspirated car, but go off. We're going to slap on some sports softs. Going to focus on, I don't know, I think we make more than enough power for this level of racing. So we're going to kind of ignore everything else. We're going to ignore all the power mods. Maybe do just the chip upgrade. But outside of that, I mean, I'm leaving the car alone. This is going to be pretty cut and dry build. We're going to go ahead and do the clutch and the flywheel like we did before with the Opel. See if this 4.2 can redeem my hope a little bit in this series. I mean, we've taken a lot of losses, which is kind of surprising, honestly. But, hey, it happens. Alright, we're going to do brakes. Always going to make sure our brakes are in good shape. And, yeah, we're going to do the, oops. Not put an exhaust in this car. We're going to do just the chip upgrade. But I do want to see how much power this car would make maxed out with the full NA build. Kind of get a hint. So, almost 500 with the Stage 3 build kit. So, yeah, not bad. We're going to slap some nice-looking BBSs. Of course, it's me. I don't know about BBSs. Let's try something different. I've done so many BBS wheels on these cars. Let's do some speed lines again like we did on the Opel. I'm going to go with the bronze or gold. Look, I think that would be pretty solid for this car. Do these. I kind of like these. I think it fits with the green. So I just want to see how this looks going on it. Not a fan. I do not like it. So this isn't the first time we've built an S4 in any of these Let's Plays I've done in Gran Turismo. As you all probably remember very vividly, I did use a B5 S4 for the majority of my playthrough of Gran Turismo 2 Plus. So we're back in an S4. That was kind of like, outside of just running the V8, why I chose it for this run. Because I wanted it to be a little, like, I wanted to kind of run an S4 again. I joked around about it last time out. And we do have a B5 S4 in this race. So this should be a fun battle here. The Clio V6 will be pretty tough, I feel like, and the Evo will be pretty threatening too. Let's see how this S4 will do. Alright, don't let me down. So, minor upgrades. This car should not be super dominant, but we are definitely seeing some early success here. So how come when the speed turbo's in the AI's hand, it's actually fairly fast? But for some reason when I'm driving it, it's a freaking dog. I know I'm not that bad on our controller, but dang. Come on. I need this S4 to kick in a little bit. Good looking car, though. The Speeds are taking the lead. Come on. Need to close the gap on these guys. There, we got the Clio in sight. Let's see if I can get around him. He kind of blocked me a little bit there. Let's see if I can get a bit of a draft off of him. The Speedster's pulling away somehow, which I just do not get, considering how bad mine was. I do not get it. How is that Speedster so fast? How am I taking so many losses in this series? Like, 2.6 seconds gap. When I built one and fully built it, I was not able to even win the series I was running it in. Easily. And I'm getting slower and slower, it's almost like. This is another car, traction controls being a little too invasive. It looks like I'm about to take another L, so I mean, might as well just go nuts after this, build this car a little bit more. Man, kind of unfortunate. Yeah, he's just gaining on me. He's running away from me. I don't understand it, considering how bad mine was. Like how the AI is able to build one that's somehow even more powerful than mine and more dominant than mine was. Because I feel like I should be completely on his case right now. And I'm barely... No, I'm not even getting closer. I'm losing time. Track control is extremely invasive on this one, though, so I guess I know one thing we're going to be doing with this thing in a moment. The fact that the Clio is even catching up is pretty astonishing. I don't know what it is about me and S4s. I'm just not destined to win in these things. Sad part is, unlike GT2 Plus, since this is a German-only run, I can't resort to the Evo to win this. Alright, well, back to the drawing board with this one, too. Pretty unfortunate. Man, 6.8 seconds. I was lucky to see that gap in my speedster turbo. So I don't know what in the world the AI is running. Like, it's almost like the LS swapped it. Okay, well, it looks like we're going back to the drawing board with the S4 here. We're going to kind of crank it up a little bit. See, is there anything going on Tudor Village? Of course not. Let's see. Guess we're going to have to Figure something out here. I'm not putting an exhaust on this car. I refuse. We're gonna do the stage 2 NA tuning. Kind of leave it at that. I don't think it's gonna need a ton more. I mean, that's a pretty substantial jump. I mean, we're making 429 horsepower now, so it should be more than enough steam now to get ahead of these guys. I don't understand how I'm getting beat so easily. Like that's nuts. S4 is not a slow car by any means, so maybe a bit heavy for this race, but still. I thought this car was going to be pretty quick out of the box. Got an Elise 111R, we've got the 330i, we have an S2000, we have an A33.2, and a Skyline GTSC Type M, one of my favorite non-GTRs of Nissan's lineup. I'm pretty much disabling everything. We're going to run a 1 on the ASM, and we're going to run 0 traction control, because this car obviously needs to be dialed in as such. I am going to drop the ride height on this thing a little bit, because I want it to sit a little bit lower than it is. We'll adjust the spring rate accordingly. Kind of see if I can get this as close to neutral as I can in the handling department. Okay, I think I like this setup. Let's try it. I like how it looks on paper, so let's see if we can get a W this time out. Oh, spinning the wheels. Alright, the A3 getting past it. Fellow Audi, we got the 330i, gonna get around it. I love the N52, but gotta show off a little bit. Man, lots of understeer. Maybe my suspension tweaks did not do what I was hoping they would. 2.3 second gap so far to the Elise. Let's see if we can bring it back in a little bit. ASM is still kicking in. I can see the light flashing, which is interesting considering they're all in 1. Cold tires aren't helping me out much either. Fronts are getting warmed up. Let's see if we can make some use of those. 1.2 seconds. We're closing in. Come on. That wide swing got me. 0.6 down. Let's see if we can bring this back home. Not going well so far. Sure, the grass kind of bothered me a little bit there. That was a lot of understeer. What's it with these S4s and the understeering issues? Like, even a GT2 Plus, you know, the B5 struggled with it so much. This thing will not get grip up front. Okay, we got one more lap. I think we can hang it down as long as I don't bottle it anytime soon, because we definitely have the straightaway advantage. Let's see here. Come on. Come on. Alright. Not too shabby. This run's going a lot better, but obviously, I mean, I added like 100 horsepower to this car. So, I mean, I would hope. Still looks good though. I actually like the B6 S4 a lot. Those V8s are pretty sweet. Shame they were really unreliable. I mean, all the German big dogs were that era. I mean, the E60 was bad. The E92 M3 was unreliable. The S4s and S5s were unreliable back then with the early V8. Well, the S5 wasn't bad, but the S4 was. Like, I don't know. Just that whole era. The C63s had their own little problems, like early C63s and stuff. So, you know. Ooh. 1.4 second gap though, so we're hanging on a little bit. As long as I can get out of this corner. Come on. He's caught me in this corner here. I might be in trouble. I don't know how he caught me, but he did. Looks like it'll be a battle to the finish here. Battle to the checkered. A little bit. I think I still got the horsepower advantage though, so I'm gonna run away from him here. And that is a W. Alright, next round we've got Motegi East Shore, so should be a little bit more tame. So let's see how this goes. What we got? Alfa Romeo GT 3.2. We have a Focus RS. We got the Hyundai HCD6. We have the Prelude and a Fiat Coupe Turbo Plus. One of my favorite Fiat model. People think they're ugly. I think they're neat. And it's a 5-cylinder. I thought they were just the neatest thing. Let's see what this S4 can do. Alright, there we go. Let's fire down in turn 1. A little bit of advantage in the traction department. Sorry, Prelude. Love Preludes, but gotta give this one a hard time. Around this Hyundai. Not a good looking car by any means. I do not like how that looks. On that. What is it? Isn't that a Busso car? It's got the Busso V6 in it. One of the other best sounding V6 engines ever made. As a VR6 fanboy. Only 2 seconds up on the Alpha. All right, lap 2. S4 is faring a lot better here. I guess it helps when there's not a Lotus Elise or an Opel Speedster in the way. That was an aggressive turn in. Goodness. That weight transfer. Ah. 9-second gap. Man, now we're dominating. So I go from barely winning to dominating. All within the same couple, like a one race span. That's wild. Ah, poop. There we go. Rough complex of corners there for this car. This big old heavy boy not doing too well here. Final lap here, turn 1. Always kind of interesting, especially on bikes. Tourist Trophy? Maybe we should do a playthrough Tourist Trophy at some point, because that game just was such a crazy experience to me when I was younger. Oh, maybe it might be interesting. I actually really like Tourist Trophy, though. It's a pretty fun game. I'm not even that big into bikes. This thing struggles understeer just as bad as the B5 did in GT2 Plus. It's wild. Ooh. Grass caught me out a little bit. And that is a race win. All right. Not too shabby. All right, what's next? We should have like 3 races left. We got Soul, we've got Clubman 5, and Deep Forest. The Soul Central Reverse. I'm trying to think what that track is like. If that's like the big track or if it's like some sort of short track. Let's see. That is the big track, okay. This track was fun on the Minolta back in the day, on my original GT4 playthrough. That I did for this channel, like, what was it, 4 years ago now? I didn't even look at the grid, but I just see a 205 Turbo 16 in front of me, so that's already making me feel great about how this is going to go. It's a Legacy? Nope, it is a Lotus Carlton, okay. Too much limiter. Z4 leading. That's interesting. That is another speedster. See if we can get revenge for how the race at Apricot Hill went the first time. I really like this track. It's not like terribly fast either. Like not terribly fast, terribly long either. This track in the GTWC is wild. Get around the Z4. Let's see how the rest of this goes. This car definitely seems to be really well set up for this track. I'm noticing it handles really well out here. Of course, there's Hyundai banners everywhere here. Oops. There we go. Took that corner like a champ. I always thought this corner was great. Slow, but great. Lap 3. Got 6 seconds on the Opal. I think that's pretty good revenge arc for this car. I will say this part of Seoul is really hard to overtake at, so definitely made the GTWC interesting because you really didn't get much of an opportunity to overtake until you got around here. Man, if this thing was any faster, might be lapping people by now. We are off. Alright, one more lap to go. I love seeing that 6th gear again. So many cars lately we've been running with in this series that haven't had a 6th gear. The Lupo, the Speedster, just to name a few. I'll say that. I think the majority of the cars we've done in this so far have been at 6 speeds, except for the Lupo and the Speedster. Now that I think about it. Okay, let's see what we got. There we go. Solid shifting. A little rocky there. That corner has been usually pretty good for us so far, but that was a little bit of a rocky move there. And we are about to be across the line anytime now. There it is. What a race. It's pretty dominant for us, but it's fun at the same time because I just like pushing this car. I like pushing cars of Seoul. It's just such a fun track. I hope I pronounced Seoul right as a kid. Not as a kid, but like a few years ago when I did this year, when I played through this game before. Now that I'm thinking about it, that might not have been a good time for me if I was still calling it Seoul or whatever. All right, we got Clubman 5. This is a pretty short track. I mean, I imagine these laps are going to be fairly in and out with this car, so it should be pretty easy. Now the SRT4, we got a DC5, we've got an FC, the Clio V6, and the Alfa Romeo GT, so pretty solid lineup. All right, here we go. I love the aesthetic of the Special Stage Route 5 and 11 from this era. Ouch. There we go. Onto the back straight. Let's see what we can get this thing up to. Over 100 already. Okay. 120. 130. Almost 135. 134. Pretty much 135. Not shabby. Man, it took that corner great. This car definitely likes long sweepers. Kind of letting this car do the talking here. I'm tired. It's been a very long day with work. Got a headache. I'm just kind of letting the car talk. I know it's this episode and last episode. I haven't really done a lot of commentating. It's just been I filmed them back to back, and yeah, pretty tired. It's almost 10 p.m. for me, and I need to get up for work. So that's why there's not been a whole lot of commentary this episode and last. I've not been trying to just sit here in silence. Just low energy at the moment. And, you know, these dominating episodes, so not really anything to talk about. There's no way to really commentate when I'm this far ahead. But for some reason, this car was super slow, and then I put that tuning kit on, and this was all of a sudden this bonkers. Like 14 seconds, like, come on. Well, this might be longer than sold because, like, we're running similar lap times. I thought for sure this would be sub 1 minute territory. Final lap, 22 seconds, my goodness. That is a domination. That's like well past Verstappen level domination here. Well, they're going to get a bit of a helping hand there from that little wall bump. Come on, grip up a little bit. See, that front right's already wearing out. I can only imagine put racing tires in this thing. It'd be already, like, blown out. Ah. On a track like this, 20 seconds is, like, borderline too much. 26 seconds, my goodness. Well, well, at least his suffering's about to end here when I cross the finish line. Wow. That's bad. Alright, one more race to go here. Oh man, I don't even remember what track we're supposed to go to next. Honestly. Deep Forest. 3 laps to Deep Forest. I like the sound of that. Good way to close this out. Oh, man. All right. Let's see what we got. I didn't even look at the grid. I think that looks like a Carlton in front of me. It's a Mercedes. Or, no, it is a Carlton. It's a 190 in front of the Carlton. All right, 3 laps of Deep Forest. Should be fun. I've run some crazy laps on here in GT7 and prototype machinery. Man, the 190 sounds so bad. It sounds like a freaking weed eater. Already in the lead, which is kind of surprising. Oh man, that's a lot understeer. Oh man. There we go. Okay, we're saved it. Yeah, this version of the track's a lot more fun with this like faster corners versus the pretty sharp hairpin almost here on a GT7. Ah, crap. It's fine. It's fine. Saved it. Okay, come on. Whew, a lot of understeer there. Excited to try the RS6 at some point too. That should be fun. Oh man, the grass caught me out pretty good there. Okay. I don't even know what the gap is at this point. I see it's huge, but man, this car turned dominant out of nowhere. Shame it understeered so bad. 18 seconds. Well, I guess I can cut some slack. The tires are getting worn out already. Those fronts are already starting to go yellow. So, I mean, we've got the tire wear turned up so aggressively on these early races. Even on sports softs, this thing's just wearing them out like nothing else. Alright, and that is another race win for the S4. Talk about a chip on its shoulder, to say the least, after that pretty bad loss at Apricot the first time out. Granted, adding almost 100 horsepower will definitely help. And that's a series 1. So it doesn't really leave us a whole lot left to do in the professional events. I think we've got just all the stuff that require the IB license. So I guess next time out we'll have to do that. As much as I don't want to. Speed 6, okay. My friends would love this. Having 3 friends on one speed. Well, I guess back down to 2. I had 3 friends that had speed 3s now. One of them sold theirs, so. Alright, let's see. What is left to do? We've got the Boxer Spear, World Classics. We've got the Compact Cup, the Supercar Festival, and the GTWC. So we'll need the IA license for those 2 runs, but the IB will be fine. We'll be able to do Boxer Spear at least on its own. So that might be what we do next time out. We'll bring the roof back out for another chance at life after parking it. So with all that said, thank you all for watching. I will see you guys next time. Have a great day.